All right. So we are today talking about nutrition and supplements, which is one of my favorite parts of doTERRA because it has so much impact on so many different aspects of our lives. So I'm going to share some slides with you so that you can have some visuals, and we'll get started. So one of the key things about the way our knowledge of genetics and lifestyle and how our health evolves is that we used to think, it was very widely believed, that our genes defined our health and our genes defined what we would die of and how old and all of those kind of things. And now we know that actually lifestyle has a much bigger part to play than our genes. Of course, genes and DNA do come into it, but lifestyle has a much greater impact, which is excellent because it means that we are in control of that. So this is good news. Now, what we're talking about here, compression of morbidity, means, it's a fancy word to say, to live for longer, but in a good way. So live better for longer. So what we're talking about is delaying that onset of the chronic disease. So what will always happen to all of us is that we will usually get something goes wrong around the end of our lives, and then we will die. Now, if we have a very short period of time between something going wrong, as in a disease of some kind, and then dying, that's a much better place to be than having, 30 odd years of chronic disease before that. So what we're not saying is shortening life, not kind of dying more quickly. What we're saying is that we can extend our lives and actually live in a much happier place in a much better way. And so this can be by up to 7 to 12 years. That's a really substantial period of time. So we're really wanting to have that quality life, and that quality lifestyle is what feeds into that. So what does a wellness lifestyle look like? This is the doTERRA wellness pyramid, and we know that there's different blocks in here, but the one we're focusing on today is on eating right. And we know that is absolutely at the core of every aspect of our lives and every aspect of health, because we are what we eat, and food can be, medicine just as much as it can be poison. So let's have a look at what that means. So there is no silver bullet. I truly believe that there is no silver bullet when it comes to nutrition. I don't believe that there is one diet that fits everyone. Variety for me is absolutely the key. You've probably heard the phrase eat the rainbow. And there's a reason for that. Each of the different colors have different phytochemicals in them, phytonutrients, which is nutrients coming from plants. And so you have different components that you're getting from each of those different colors. So, but the widely accepted and the widely believed, and definitely the ones that I try to go by, is eating healthy fat, not low fat, healthy fat, avoiding white and refined sugar, moderation in everything. I believe that you can have everything, just as long as you have it in small amounts, and then always drinking lots of water. So if there is anything toxic, or any toxins rather, that you have taken in, then that water will help to flush it out. So this I've heard so many times, and I actually used to say this: I eat a healthy diet, so I don't need to have supplements. So the research actually, and I researched this quite a lot, the research actually shows that everyone does, and there's a reason for that. Actually, you can see low micronutrient intake, and that's the impact of that. But what we're seeing is that actually we have much less nutrition in our food than we used to have 30, 40, 50, 100 years ago. And so what the term that's been used is breeding the nutrition out of our food, and that is through industrialized farming methods, and so it means that we have much less quality in the food that we're eating. So when you look at eating 5 portions of fruit and veg, that's no longer enough because there's so much less nutrient dense. So you can see here, you might have heard of the recommended daily allowance. Recommended daily allowance is simply there to avoid deficiency related diseases. which, you know, great, we want to avoid those, but it's not really where I would place myself. I don't just want to be where I'm avoiding deficiency related diseases. I want to be thriving. And so estimated average requirements, or EARs, are a much better guideline. And so we can see that actually a vast majority of people, now this is based on US stats, but actually are, you know, all of the Occidental world has a very similar diet. But you can see how many, what percentage are below what we're needing. So you can, most of our diets do fall short of our recommended daily allowance even, so that's well below what we want to be, but it's definitely what we're needing, of vitamin D and vitamin E and vitamin A, calcium and magnesium. Now these are really key components for your cells to actually function, let alone function at their best. Magnesium, calcium, they're involved in some of the communication channels between your cells, and that's really important. So I hope that is allowing you to see, there we go, breeding, this is the article, breeding the nutrition out of our food. And so those phytonutrients are not what they used to be. So in the olden days, they had 100 times more phytonutrients. I mean, that's huge. So this is why it's so important to be aware of what some of the signs are of deficiencies in minerals and vitamins as well. So lack of energy, fatigue, irritability, you know, weakness in your joints and in your muscles, your hair and your skin, and your hair, skin and nails are such a good indicator as well. You can often see on people's faces if they're deficient, kind of have that grey look as well. So these are a few things for you to evaluate whether this is something that you are experiencing as well. So nutrition is the absolute foundation. So it really is what allows our body to function at its best. It increases our energy and it increases mental clarity. And of course, it's supporting your cardiovascular health and you know, any sort of inflammation. So that's where it really helps with aches and pains as well. So depending on what you're eating, you can either be increasing your inflammation or decreasing your inflammation, increasing your energy or mental clarity or decreasing it. So it can go both ways. Now, what the doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Pack, this is doTERRA's response to this issue. It's equivalent to 12 servings of fruit and veg in every serving. I mean, that's a huge amount of fruit and veg. On top of course, what you're eating, because this is not to replace a healthy diet, but it's on top of what you're eating. So I love a good salad, so I often have quite a lot of veg anyway. I love that I'm getting this bioavailable supplement that's allowing me to have an extra influx of it. So let me dive deeper into these. I want to show you, highlight each one and what they do. So this is the Z Omega. This is the essential oil complex, the essential oil omega complex. So this is your essential fatty acids, along with these essential oils that are supporting your cellular health as well. So when we talk about essential fatty acids, what I want you to think about is that most of your brain is made up of essential fatty acids. So if you're thinking of mental clarity, then it makes total sense that if you don't have enough good fats or essential fatty acids in your diet, those fish oils, those omega-3s and 6s, then that's where you can see that your mental clarity will be reduced. Your omega-3s are also affecting the inflammation in your body, so it will affect your joint health as well. It's also a key component in your digestive system, so it's going to affect how your gut is feeling. So I hope you can see that this is affecting so many body systems. Now there's a few little bits of information on there about those more specifics within them, but I want to highlight these essential oils here, not all of them, but some of them and what they do. So clove and frankincense, in fact, are both highly antioxidant oils. So what an antioxidant does is that it captures free radicals. So free radicals are what are released through the natural aging process when there is cellular damage. And so I like to picture them as kind of like a air hockey, if you've played air hockey before, an air hockey puck that's flying around and creating more damage. What an antioxidant does is it just captures that free radical, and it's chemically catching it, but it's capturing it so that it stops all of it continuing with that damage, and it will stop, it reduces that aging process of your cells. So that's a really good thing, apart from all of the support that clove and frankincense will give you to reduce your inflammation response as well. Then you've got things like thyme, which is highly antibacterial, highly antiviral, and extremely supportive for your immunity. Cumin, again, super excellent for your immune system. Wild orange, I absolutely love because it's a natural mood lifter. And the reason why these are in here on a daily basis is that these are not only supporting your cellular health, but they are supporting your emotional wellness. They're helping to balance your body systems as well, like things like your hormones as well. So that's one part of it, is the Z omega, which is the essential oil, omega complex, which is your fish oils, or there's a vegan version which has plant-based omegas in there as well, as the essential oils. Now, what does this do for us? Well, you can read this list of things, but you can pretty much spot there every single body system is affected by your essential fatty acids and having the correct balance of omegas. It's also helping you to have healthy skin. We know that having correct amount of essential fatty acids is really, really beneficial for our skin as well. And then you can see that there's also, within all of these, they are provided in conjunction with each other, meaning that they work together, so that the essential oils are also helping and supporting the correct absorption of the other elements in these capsules. So that's a really beneficial thing. Now I'm going to go on to the second part, the alpha CRS. So this is CRS is cellular renewal system. And what this means is that it's supporting your cellular health, as it says on the tin. So for me, this is your cell boosting part of it. This is your superfoods, those foods that you might have heard of, or maybe never heard of some of them, and you would like to have superfoods in your diet, but don't really know how to integrate it. Well, this is a really, really good way to do it. And the big key with all of these supplements is that they are not created in a lab. They are extracted from food, and that is really important because we're designed to absorb food, so it has to be bioavailable in order for us to actually utilize it. So when you have food, you know that your body will be able to take what it needs out of it. When you have a pill of some kind, there's not really any guarantee, and actually there's been shown that you don't get a lot out of it because your body can't absorb it. So this is food extracts that are allowing you to do that. So you've got things like boswellic acid, again supporting your optimum cellular health. Boswellic acid comes from the boswellia tree, which is where we get the frankincense oil. Again, that is helping to support, how to say this, support proper cell function. So if there is any sort of degeneration or damage to the DNA in your cells, what this does is it basically triggers for it to die. So the frankincense essential oil and the boswellic acid does that. And that's a really good thing because we don't want damaged DNA duplicating itself. So that's really important. Then you've got things like ginkgo biloba. I remember in the 1980s that came out as something that was supportive for your mental clarity and your memory. And so it became very common to find that. I remember my mum used to take ginkgo biloba. But this is really good for, as it says, mental clarity. You've got these aspects here that are supporting your cellular energy, helping you to actually have, if your cells have energy, then you have energy. It's very, very simple formula. So this is a really, really good one. Now, every single part of this has tummy tamer blend because we know that everything starts in the gut. And that's really important as well, to be able to support the gut every step of the way. So as you can see here, supports healthy cell function by protecting cellular DNA and other critical cell structures. So that's a very long-winded way of saying that it's helping the damaged DNA to be gone, and only retaining the DNA that is working properly. It helps with mitochondria, which is your energy parts of your cells. So this is the energy production aspect of your cells. So you can see, again, it's affecting many, many different body systems. Cellular health, your immunity is really, really important. And so that can help you to be able to defend your body, protect your body against any looming threats as well. And of course, again, that Tummy-Tamer blend. You might have spotted here that it says sodium lauryl sulfate free vegetable capsules. So these are veggie caps that do not have any sodium lauryl sulfate, which is not a good substance to be having in our body at all. So the third part to this is the Microplex VMZ. This is your multivitamin and mineral complex, again, extracted from food. This is so, so important because you can absorb it. So this is what one of the markers that we have from other, compared to other supplements, is that these are able to be absorbed. The other thing that you can see here is that it has some digestive enzymes in there. So it's got things like protease, lactase, lipase. If you're not familiar with digestive enzymes, so protease is the enzyme that allows you to break down protein. Lactase helps you to break down lactose from the sugar in milk. Lipase is the one that breaks down fat. So you can see that these are things, these are the enzymes that are supporting your body to break down foods effectively. One, so that it can absorb things from the food properly, and two, so that it can get rid of the toxins more easily, so that you don't end up with a buildup of undigested food that ends up rotting inside your gut, which is really bad news. Then you've got your blend of essential minerals, your balanced blend of essential minerals. Now, balanced blend is really important, again, because if we have too much of one and not enough of the other, these are not all separate components. These all work collaboratively. And we know that actually calcium is only fully absorbed in the presence of vitamin D and vitamin C. So we know that there are some interactions. There's some interactions that we know about commonly. There's other interactions that nutritional experts and supplement people who work in supplement creation, they know even more about this, and doTERRA have some of the absolute best nutritionists working with them to be able to create these. So we know these are interacting in a way that will support the absorption. The same again with the vitamins. You've got your key vitamins in there, as well as things like in your minerals, you've got your folate. Now, if you've ever come across folic acid, that's always the one that everyone who, if you're having a baby or you're pregnant or trying for a baby, then you're told to take folic acid. And actually folic acid is the synthetic version of folate. Folate is what you would find in your food. And so that's always an indicator as well of actually whether it's a food bioavailable supplement or one that has been created and synthesized. So then you've got these, again, the Tummy-Tamer blend. So you've got some of those plant substances that are helping to just calm the gut, and some of these amazing whole foods. So these are, again, some more of your superfoods in there. Kale, dandelion, some of the things that you might not be eating every day, but we know are absolutely excellent for our health. Some of the impact and the benefits of that is that you are getting normal growth of cells. This is coming back to what I was saying again about targeting those damaged cells so that they don't duplicate. So really, really beneficial for cellular health. It's helping with those free radicals, again, those antioxidants capturing those free radicals. So you can see, again, it's supporting every single body system. Now, some of the ones that haven't been mentioned on here is your endocrine system. So your hormone balancing with these supplements is phenomenal. And actually, often it's been a side effect. For me, it was a side effect. So I wasn't taking them for hormone balancing. I was taking them for pain, to support pain. Well, I had pain and I was taking them to try and stop that and to have more energy. And then the side effect of that is that I ended up with a regular cycle, which I have never had. So it really massively supports every single body system. This is some of the things that people have reported by taking the supplements, and it might not be the things that you would actually think of as a consequence of taking supplements, like I sleep better. That wouldn't be an obvious one for me, but obviously lots of the other things. So don't underestimate the impact that these can have on various body systems, like emotions particularly. Actually has a huge bearing on our emotions, how our gut is doing. And there's a whole workshop all about emotions and using the oils for that as well. So the last thing I want to leave you with in terms of the training is actually you can try the LLV for 30 days. And if you don't feel any different, then you can get your money back. So if you have anything chronic going on, if you have anything that is causing an issue for you every day, or that you're concerned about every day, or that's stopping you from functioning the way you would like to, you have nothing to lose to be giving this a go. And having been in that situation myself, I know what it means to not be able to function at my best every day, or even function properly every day, let alone at my best. So I paid thousands trying to get myself back into a place where I could actually function. This was the lowest cost on my radar to be able to get back to where I needed to be, and they were absolutely amazing for me to be able to get to the point where I could, walk properly and look after my children. So gut health really is the core to this. So we know that sometimes we need an extra boost on top of those multivitamins. And so sometimes we have things that are damaging our gut, like an unhealthy diet, using antibiotics, lack of exercise, stress, huge factor in our gut. And so sometimes we need that extra bit of support. Often we need that extra bit of support. So if you have any sort of skin condition that is creating a problem, or gut health that is creating a problem, Terrazyme is an amazing one. You've got some digestive enzymes in the Lifelong Vitality Pack already. The digestive enzyme is adding to that. So it's really supporting the correct breakdown of those foods, because so many of them can cause problems, particularly when our gut is irritated. It becomes very sensitive, and so the Terrazyme can really support with that. The other one is the probiotics. This is particularly relevant if you've used antibiotics, then you will definitely want to have some probiotics. So you're helping to replace that gut bacteria that the antibiotics have killed, because that's what antibiotics do. They kill bacteria, all the good and the bad. So we want to support that gut to replace it. If it's children or if you can't take tablets very well, then you can use this powder. So this is really yummy, actually. So it's almost like a sherbet stick. So you just tip it in, but really, really effective. And the key with your probiotics, what you're looking for is diversity, just like in our diets. We want biodiversity. So we want to have a range of bacteria in there. Of probiotics. If we are just doing one type, that is not going to balance our gut. Because again, what we want is that variety. So in this PB Assist and PB Assist Junior, we have 6 different strains of 6 million probiotics, which is a big number. And often those numbers are thrown around, like 10 billion active probiotics. Brilliant, but if it's only 1 or 2 strands of probiotic, it's not going to support your gut the way you need it to. You need that variety. So this has 6 different strands or strains of probiotics and prebiotics. So it really, really helps. So I won't do this now, but I want you to rate yourself. Where would you put yourself in each of these categories? If eating right is something that you need to support, so on a scale of 1 to 10, I would highly recommend putting this Lifelong Vitality Pack to the test. It is all about those daily habits. So in terms of how you take the Lifelong Vitality Pack, what I do is I take 2 of each in the morning, and 2 of each after my lunchtime. So I normally take it just after breakfast and just after lunch. So then I'm really getting that benefit of it throughout the day. I do take Terrazyme with my meals as well, and I alternate between doing the cleanse with a gut cleansing formula or probiotics. So this is what you can see, and this is what I would suggest you do if you haven't done this already, is create your daily plan. When you want to achieve something in your workplace or professionally or in your home, you make a plan. You make a meal plan, you make a list, you make a priority list in your workplace, but we don't often do that with our health. So I would highly recommend you it wouldn't take you long, take 10 or 15 minutes, create your plan for you to achieve your health goals. Because the bottom line is, if we don't have our health, everything else falls apart. So it doesn't really matter how well we are achieving everything else at the moment. If your health is on the decline, make that your priority, because it will either you make it a priority, or it will make you make it a priority. And that I've seen that time and time again, including with myself. I did not make my health a priority, even though I ate well and was healthy. I definitely didn't give myself the rest and the TLC that my health needed for a long time. And so I definitely was forced into it. So this is a really good example. If you want to take a screenshot of this, this is a nice daily healthy habit plan that you can then make your own as well. So when I said drink lots of water, it doesn't have to just be plain water. You can put any of these citrus oils in there, and they're really, really lovely. Or even some varied oils like peppermint, Zengest. Smart and Sassy is a lovely one as well. I love the citrus oils. They're my favorite, and I know that they're cleansing and supporting my immunity all the time. My actual favorite is not on here. It's called green mandarin. I love it. Lemon and green mandarin are my two favorites for drinking. So, choose variety and do what you need to do. So I've kind of already shared with you why I choose to take the Lifelong Vitality supplements. And the reason is that I don't want to feel like this. I want to feel like I can, run around all day, and, we have 3 young children. So I do need to run around all day, as well as running a business as well. So I need energy, I need mental clarity, but most of all, I just need to have my body where it can be at its best. And that's why I use these supplements. So I love this expression, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you are wearing yourself down, please, please, please make some changes. It doesn't have to be big. Just start with small ones, but start something. And so I wanted to just share very briefly what's the best way to get your oils. So you might have heard some of the things that I've been sharing with you, and I want to just share with you what's the best way to actually get them. So there's 2 ways. Once you have your wholesale account, there's 2 ways for you to order. The first way is using an LRP template. The second way is placing a one-time order. So the one-time order allows you to get your 25% off, which you're entitled to with your account. But that's it, nothing else. The LRP, Loyalty Rewards Program, is what will allow you to get your postage back in points and to collect points over time. So it's a much, much more cost-effective way. I wanted to give you a bit of context with the Loyalty Rewards Program as to what makes it so beneficial. So if you're using a club card, if you spend £100, then you get £1 back. So you can see it's a 1% reward. £100 in Sainsbury's, you get 50 pence back. So it's a 0.5% reward. And you can see Boots is 4% reward. Now I want to then put that in contrast to doTERRA. You can get up to 30% back as a reward. So if you are spending £100 on your order, this is an example of a £100 order, that's 131 PV. That would give you, if you're at 30% back, 39 points, which is roughly £30 to spend. So you can see that return is pretty huge. So, a much better return than anything that we're used to. If you're doing over 12 months a 50 PV order, so that would be around the £35–40 mark, by the end of that year, you would have 105 points to spend. You can see the different increments with that. But this is the one I want to draw attention to, is this 125 PV. You're getting a heck of a lot of points, but you're also getting a free product of the month. And this is what that means. So if over the last year, this year, we have placed 125 PV or more order every month. So we have had all of these oils for free. That's a lot of oils. So this is just allowing you to also experience a range of oils in a slightly different way as well. And there's more. Every few months, so every 2 months or so, there's a 200 PV promotion. So this is a way for doTERRA to give more expensive products away for free with a 200 PV order. So that can be anything between 180 to 200 pounds. December is usually, I won't say always, but usually for the last 6 years, we've had a free bottle of frankincense, which is one of the most expensive oils that doTERRA do, because of its quality of what it does for our cells and for our skin. So that's just an example of that as well. So there's a lot that comes with it. And then there's these exclusive LRP kits, of which the Lifelong Vitality Pack, which allows you to get it at half the price of what it would be if you bought them all individually. So I hope that gives you an idea. Just to summarize all of that, this table hopefully shows you. So when you're starting your LRP or your loyalty rewards program, you start at 10% back. So that's still 10 times more than what we get from a Tesco Club card. And we still kick ourselves when we forget our club card, right? So if you're getting 10% back, and then if you're placing an order every 50 PV or more every month, then you can then increase to 15% back. And then 3 more months, you go up to 20% back, and 5% each time after 3 months of an order over 50 PV. Now, you don't have to place an order of 50 PV. You can place an order of 1 PV or the smallest thing possible if you just want to just maintain that month. And then you can then order when you need more things, then you can then go up. So there is no obligation to order a certain amount. It just is that you are placing a monthly order. So essentially what the loyalty rewards program is a monthly wellness box that you edit what you would like in it each month. So you can see some of the different levels for you to get that. And 125 PV is that product of the month level. And so you're increasing your percentage every 3 months and getting free oils as well. So in terms of the process of ordering, this I'm just very briefly going to talk you through that on your back office. So you've probably already seen this, but the way to actually set up your loyalty rewards template is to click on the purple page, the purple box when you go into your account, select your date to order. You'll want to go before the 15th so that you can qualify for the product of the month if your order is over 125 PV. Then you add your products. So you can browse wherever you want to go. So essential oils, for example, or Lifelong Vitality Pack. And then you would add that into your basket and then off it comes to your door. So I hope that's just given you, I know that's been very fast overview, but the key is that there's some massive privileges from ordering using the loyalty rewards program as opposed to the standard order. So it's definitely the best way to do it as well. So I hope that's been helpful for you, and I will see you all soon. So tonight's one is about using oils for children. So if you'd like to hear about using oils for children, it's 8 p.m. tonight. So bye-bye.